Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wyoming Knits YouTube channel. My name is Jenny Lee, and this is my channel where I like to talk about all the things that I've been knitting on over the past week. Today is Sunday, November 23rd, and this is episode 116. You can find me on Instagram as Jenny Lee Knits, and you can find me on Ravelry as Jenny Lee S Knits. And today I'm coming to you from Southwest Wyoming, where I live with my husband, our daughter, and her little Yorkie, Dax. It's been a busy week this week. I'm not wearing any knitting on top. I do have my knitted socks on. I wear my hand knit socks every day, even in the summer here in Southwest Wyoming, unless I'm going out with sandals on. But most of the time I am wearing my hand knit socks. I did get this shirt on Etsy last year. It says, just a girl who loves fall, and it has a stack of books and some pumpkins. I thought it would be something nice and cozy to wear. It is currently 44 degrees outside, and our high is supposed to be 49. We haven't got any snow yet this year, which, well, there's been like a dusting in the morning, and by like 10 o'clock it's gone, like maybe twice so far, but we haven't really had any snow. We've had rain though, which has not turned into snow overnight, so that's pretty nice for me. Everything is still yellow. Everything has lost its green color. All the leaves have fallen. The trees are bare. All the grass is yellow. All the fields are yellow. So white would give it a little bit of a different feel, but I'm not ready for that yet. Because once it turns white, it's white, brown, and gray for a very long time. So I'll take the yellow for now, even though green is my favorite color. Let's talk about what I knit this week, starting with finished objects. My first finished object are these socks. This is the Stack of Books pattern by Witchery. I did the size medium, which is a 64 stitch count. I started with a German twisted cast on. I used a US size 0, which is a 2.0 millimeter needle, and I did a German twisted cast on. I did 20 rounds for the cuff, and then I went into the Stack of Books pattern. I did a slip stitch heel flap and gusset, and then I did a, I think it's called a wedge toe. I do the heel and the toe from the Crazy Sock Ladies Vanilla Socks pattern. I was right here on the second sock last week, so I finished the heel and the foot and toe this week. I worked on these mostly after school this week. These are going to be a birthday gift. Her birthday is in December, so I got these done with plenty of time, and I think I'll probably gift them before we go on Christmas vacation, because her birthday is after we already leave. So these will be a gift. I'm excited to have them done. Her daughter picked out the color, and so these are finished. Is there anything else I need to tell you about them? I don't think so. I think they weighed 70 grams. So I put that in my grams in and grams out tracker already. So I worked on those this week. That's my only finished object. I really wanted to have my garden cardigan done, but that did not happen. So let's talk about works in progress. My first work in progress is this one. This is my Mountain State Stitches bag. I got yarn hanging out all over. And I'm using Knit Picks Felici in the color Lemon Bar. These are the socks for my mother-in-law. I had the first one, pretty sure I had the first one done last time. And I've made just a little more progress. I'm almost close to the heel. Let's see, 10, 20, 30, less than 30 rounds because I've done a few rounds on this one. So about less than 30 rounds before I get to the heel. I think sometimes when I get close to the heel, I don't work on it as much because if I sat down and only have 5 minutes, I don't want to get to the heel. And so I think I've just kind of paused this just a little bit because I didn't have time to work on the heel yet. This is also a 64 stitch sock on a 9-inch circular US size 0, 2mm needle. I did 64 stitches with a German twisted cast on, 20 rounds for the cuff, and then I went into the string of lights pattern. I just really like how this breaks up the stripes slightly. I'm not a big fan of stripes. They're not my favorite. I need movement, I need color, I need I'm not even a big fan of like solids. If it's variegated and different tones, I don't like just solid. For me, it has no movement, it's just flat. So this is what I have left after knitting 1 and almost a half. So that's in this bag. And then the next thing I worked on, I didn't get a lot of work on this one. This is my Musselburgh hat by Ysolda Teague. I'm using, ooh, I almost dropped it. Let's see, Ridiculous hand-dyed yarn in the color Witch's Brew. And this is a 75-25, 463 yards per 100 grams. I am using a 16-inch circular, a fixed circular needle, and I'm using a US size 1.5, which is a 2.5mm. And let's find my progress keeper right here. I did just a little bit. This has been my editing project that I work on while I edit my videos, or at night right before we go to bed when I want my hands to keep moving but I don't have the brain space to count. That happened a little bit this week. I think Tuesday I did not knit at all. I'm making the adult small in the 8 stitch gauge on that one. Then I did work on my garden cardigan, I think just a little bit. I don't know what's happening right there. Is that all? I'm gonna have to do something with. Can you see that? It's all, I don't know. Felted together, maybe? I don't know. But I had picked up the sleeves on picked up the stitches for the second sleeve last time. I got through, there's a sequence of decreases you do like A through F, I think. And you have to do it twice. I am on the second round of that. So let's see if I put my sleeves together. I have, oh, just about that much left. So I'm almost ready. I betcha I am like, one decrease away from the cuff, and then I'll be finished. So I love this so much. There is a panel that you're supposed to, I think, knit stockinette and then sew in so you can have a pocket on the inside. I'm not sure if I will do that. Maybe I will. I have some more time this week. We only have school Monday and Tuesday. We're off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week for Thanksgiving. So I will have a lot more time this week. I might put the pocket in, but I might finish the sleeve and be like, okay, I'm done, let's block it. So it's almost finished. This is the Garden Cardigan by Anka Strict. I am using some Blackbird Sycamore yarn in the color Mocha Mars. This was the exclusive colorway for the Yarn in the Tail this year. So you can get it, I think you can still get it on her website. It will be linked in the description box below through the Yarn in the Tail. And then I'm also using Drops Kid Silk in the color Apple. The number on here is number 18. And so I have this much left of the third or fourth cake. I can't remember. I think I bought five skeins of this. So this is number 4, I think. It's stuck on my other yarn. Okay, so that is what I have for this. I am making the second or third size. I don't remember. I'm using a size, US size 6 and a US size 4. That is a 3.5 millimeter and a 4 millimeter needle for that one. And then I pulled out my Doppio sweater again. Last time we talked about it, I ran out of yarn for the hem. So I didn't get I wanted to make it longer. And I was worried if I started my new balls of yarn, because I only had two of each color when I started. If I did the body as long as I wanted it, I might not have enough for sleeves. So I decided to put the body on hold and knit the sleeves, and then come back and knit the body longer. So let's see, Friday I picked it up and I started knitting the first sleeve, and Saturday I finished the first sleeve and started the second sleeve. And then Saturday at noon, Amy from Happy Little Yarn had a Zoom, and I jumped on that and knit some more, and I finished the second sleeve. So I had this one done, finished the second sleeve. Well, I worked on most of the second sleeve, and then after the Zoom and then lunch, I finished the second sleeve. and I picked up the neckline. So I'm going to finish the neck, finish the collar. You do so many rounds of knit one, purl one. Then you switch to a smaller needle, do one round of knit one, purl one, switch back, and then when you're finished, you fold it down and I think you do the bind off. I'm going to do the bind off as I knit it to the inside. Which sweater did I just finish that was like that? I don't remember which sweater it was that I just finished that had you fold the collar and bind off at the same time. Let's look back at my notes. Oh, the mod sweater. My pink one that I love. Yes, I will do that again on this one. And then come back. I still have everything. I didn't cut anything. Everything is right where I left it. So then it's got all this yarn barf at the bottom because I didn't, it's all messy in there. So then I will be able to knit this longer. I can use all the rest of the yarn. It does have a faux seam where you do a purl stitch right here. You can see it better on the inside. You do a purl stitch and then I'm pretty sure you come back and you mattress stitch this just to give it a little more structure. Let's talk about the yarn I'm using for this. This color is Vintage Rose. It's Knit Picks Melissa's. I bought 2 of these. And then the other one is also Knit Picks Melissa's in the Dusky Petal. And then my last one that I'm holding together is the Cake Wool Co. And this is Russian Dressing. This is a 72% kid mohair, 28% silk, 459 yards per 50 grams. And the Knit Picks is 437 yards per 100 grams, 85/15. 85% merino, 15% nylon. This is like a sock yarn. And because these were tonal, I wanted to hold them together. I knew I wanted to do the Doppio sweater and I wanted something that would kind of go with this. And I think it made a beautiful, beautiful marled color with all of these together. Pretty sure I'm doing the second or third size. I want to say the second size because it's oversized. So this is Living in a Bag by Awesome Granny. I will have all my pattern pages and links to the bag shops in the description box below. I always put that there. Then last night after we had dinner, I didn't really want to have to think about anything. I just wanted to knit. But I also wanted to knit on one of my blankets. And I thought, ooh, this would be a good time to get out my Scrappy jelly roll blanket. I am doing a DK weight jelly roll blanket, and I am holding all of my Knit Picks Felici yarn double. So I have some of it marled together, some of it ended up where I was holding the two colors at almost exactly the same spot. I think when I first cast on, I tried to get them to line up, and then as I was going, I was like, that's a lot of work. I don't want to try to get them to line up. What does it look like marled? And so I held the same, because when I do Knit Picks Felici socks, let me grab a, oh, they're right here. So they come in 250 grams, and I usually just, yarn was poking out, usually start one, finish it, start the other, finish it, take the skeins, put them in the box for my, excuse me, put them in the box for my cozy memories, and then once I put square my cozy memories, then it goes in a different bin. And I was like, hey, I could use all of my leftovers in a blanket. So I took and caked them up so I can hold them double. This is the same color. I think this one was olive juice. I can't remember all the colors, but I bought two sets of this one because they still had them on the website, and I bought one pair and I knit it up and I gave it to my mother-in-law, and then I wanted a pair, so I bought another one. And I've just been knitting away on this every once in a while. I was right here last time I showed it. I think I did all of this last night. It's 20, I want to say 20 stitches back and forth. So it really did not take very long. I think I did this in about 2 hours, about that far. I am using some wooden DPNs that I got from Amazon when I first started to knit. This is a US size 5, 3.75 millimeter. And I'm just holding it double. I am doing the modification from the Crazy Sock Lady. That is also on my pattern page. I linked to her pattern page, or project page, not pattern page. I don't own the pattern. Kay Jones owns the pattern. And my modifications are on my project page. About this much left until I get to the end. Maybe I'll work on this as I edit today and see if I can get to the end and cast on the next strip. So I have almost 3 strips done. And because Felici is back for now and I've ordered some more and I'm planning on making more socks out of them, even though I don't like self-striping yarn, I don't know. I like to do the self-striping yarn with a pattern like the stack of books, and contrasting hills, toes, and cuffs with like a fun like speckly for the hills, toes, and cuffs. I think I like that. Don't fall, please. And that's all I worked on this week. I did get some mail. I got my Momma Just November. I love this. I think I want to cake this up and cast it on today. I think I'm going to cast on all the socks. I think I'm going to cast this on, and these will be my Thanksgiving socks. See if I can knit them this week while we're off for Thanksgiving. And then I have my mini from my Woolens and Nosh that I need to cake up. Oh, this is the only thing I got in the mail. We'll talk about what I plan to do over the next week when I have 3 extra days off. So I'm going to wind up this mini and start my cuffs for my Woolens and Nosh Advent. On next Sunday I get to open and start Vlogmas. I'm going to open my first 4 Sundays yarn from Mama Jess. I have my Happy Mermaid Yarn Co. yarn from, I think this was from last year. Either last year or the year before, and I still haven't caked it up. So I think I'm going to cake it up today, cast on. If I get it done, I get it done. If not, I'm still making Christmas socks in January. I did that last year. It wasn't a big deal. And then I had Christmas socks. Well, I have Christmas socks for this December that I can wear. I've actually worn them a few times. I just wear all my socks. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be that holiday to wear them. I just wear them. Then I have this Mama Jess from January of this year. It's called Cozy January Day. This was the January mystery, and then this is her chocolate mini. But I thought that looked like Christmas. So I'm going to cake that one up, and I'm just going to start socks. I'm going to do it. Cake it up, get it going. Then I have this Cozy Cauldron fibers from 3 years ago that I never caked up. This is Gingerbread House that I think I want to cake up and start. And then I have some Dragon Horde yarn. This one is called Rudolph. I don't know if that's going to focus. There's some, it came with Ravelry codes for her mitts, and so I'm covering the codes. But I think, look at the green. I think I want to cake this up. I've had this for at least 2 years. So I want to do this one also. And then Andrea Mowry put out the perfect pattern for handspun. I went to a fiber festival, like a really small one in Evanston. They had it at the library. There was like 4 or 5 booths. There was a lady with some of her handspun yarn that she was selling, and I bought some, and I think I'm going to, I've been waiting, I've had this for at least 3 or 4 years, probably 4 years, and I've been waiting for the perfect pattern. I just weighed this. It weighs 177 grams, and I think it will be perfect in a jaunty. So this was the tag that it had on it. Approximately 770 yards and 6.2 ounces. I weighed it, and it's 177 grams. So I think I'm going to cast on a jaunty with this. So I'm going to cake all of this yarn up today after I get done editing, and we will see what I get done. I just want to cast on all the things. I have projects that need to get finished. I have projects that I want to start, And I think if I just start some things, that might motivate me to finish some things. I have some Lime Brand Mandala, and I have some extra like acrylic yarn from Red Heart and Karen, and that I want to make some blankets with. That was my plan for this year, to use that up and make some blankets, and I made a bunch of sweaters instead, which I love. And I love all the sweaters that I've made. I love making sweaters. I need more time in the day. So maybe next year, or maybe I should just cast on all the blankets also, and then they're there and they can get worked on whenever I feel like it. Because if you don't cast it on, you can't work on it. If it's not ready to work on, you can't work on it. So I got a bunch of yarn that I want to get cast on. I want to get it all caked up. I want to get it cast on. I think I ordered some Christmas yarn from You Knit I Dye that should be here. It's probably in my post office box right now. Where I live, everything gets delivered to the post office. Nothing gets delivered to your house. It's all the post office. You go in and you tell them, this is my physical address. They give you a post office box, and you have to go check the post office box. They don't have a route. They don't deliver mail. You have to go to the post office. So I think it's in the post office right now. I think if I went up to the post office, I could probably, it's probably in my box. I could grab it, but I don't want to leave the house. I want to stay home, stay cozy, and knit. So I'm going to cake up all this stuff, cast on some socks, and I will be good to go for the rest of the week. I'm so excited. We only have 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. Monday we're going to go to our town hall, and each of our kids made an ornament that they get to hang on the town hall tree, and then we get to watch as the town hall lights up the park for December. We get to go to the tree lighting. It's super fun, and then the kids get some hot chocolate, sometimes a cookie, sometimes a candy cane, and then we go back to school, and then it's basically time to go home. We have our morning, and then we do that in the afternoon, and time to go home. That's what we'll do on Monday. Then on Tuesday it'll be a couple of different things to get ready for Thanksgiving, and then we come home, and I have Wednesday and Thursday and Friday off. My husband has to work on Thursday, so we're going to cook dinner on Friday when he's home, which is going to be maybe 4 of us, and so it doesn't really matter which day I cook. I'm excited to have some turkey and stuffing and rolls and potatoes and fruit salad, and then maybe we always get some pies, and then we're so full by the end of eating dinner that we're like, let's wait. And then the let's wait turns into, hey, we still have this pie in the freezer from last year. So, and we say, oh yeah, we didn't get to that, we'll cook it for Christmas. No. I think I have an apple pie in there from last year, a Marie Callender's frozen apple pie. Should probably check the expiration date on there. But I think that is all I had for you today. Leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, hype the video if you would like to, and I will see you next week. Happy knitting!